What's up, sis? This your girl, Coach NaQuandra at the Purpose Place, and I am
and taking us to Sunday school and vacation about to I would be amen to this day.
Tell y'all something. I done found me a keeper. Let me tell y'all something. What's up? This is your girl, Coach NaQuandra at the Purpose Place. Welcome to the Women Alike podcast, where we get into the realness of what it's like to eat, sleep, drink, breathe, walk, live as a woman of God, especially those of us like me who came out of the world, thotting and bopping it and throwing it back for the devil. And now we're in this new world, navigating how to live as a daughter, how to live free and redeemed, and how to really cultivate the peace of God and how to lather in his love. That's what we do here at the Women Alike podcast. So if you resonated with anything that I said, you are in the right place. Before we get into this message, this conversation in this moment, I need you to subscribe if you're listening to this on YouTube and hit the bell so you can be notified when I go live. 2023 is coming up, so I'm going to be adding some things to the podcast. I want to be present more. So to make sure you're in the room when we go live as a community, as a sisterhood, you need to make sure you hit that bell. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you need to be hitting that subscribe button as well so you can be notified when these new episodes are uploaded. Make sure you are connected with me on Instagram at Coach NaQuandra and also at The Purpose Place. I do have a mailing and subscription list where I send out weekly newsletters to let you know what's going on at The Purpose Place and to give you some weekly inspiration. And you can subscribe to that, enroll to that, partner with me at The Purpose Place by going to thepurposeplace.com and clicking Become a Partner. Now let's get into this. So tonight we're going to be talking about the message, the title, the theme, whatever, is set back for a set up. Now we finna go into 2023, and I know everybody is putting their goals together. I know I am, and setting up times to do a vision board and meeting with my friends, and we figuring out how we can hold each other accountable in things. And so this is also a time for reflection where we're thinking about how our year went. And I know for me, I'm very self-critical. And so a lot of times I think about the things that went wrong or the things that don't make sense. But I also come to realize there are some things that I've went through this year and in the past that has set me up for success for this year that I'm about to go into. There's some job positions that I've held in the past. There's some situations that I've been put into that has set me up for success in this season that I am walking into and living in right now. In 2016, I was managing restaurants from 2016, maybe to 2018 or even earlier. I don't know. I don't remember. But I was managing restaurants, and I'm like, first of all, I got a whole degree in childhood development and family studies. And I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense. Why did I spend a whole 4 or 5 years managing restaurants when my degree is for educating and teaching and caring after children? That doesn't make sense. But when I started stepping into, when I got tired of managing restaurants and I was like, okay, I'm going to use my degree, everything started to click and make sense because the things that I was doing as a manager, as far as the customer service and managing employees and doing training and all of that corresponded with what I was doing in the classroom and what I am doing in the classroom. And now it's transferring to what I'm doing now as a business owner and as a coach and as a speaker and things. And so it prepped me for a lot of things that I'm currently doing now. And so reflecting on it, it may look like it was a setback because I spent so much time operating in what I thought was purposeless, but God had purpose for it. And that might be you. You may find yourself in a situation now where you're like, God, what am I doing here? This don't have nothing to do with what you asked me to do. This don't have nothing to do with my degree. This don't have nothing to do. All this is causing me stress, but I feel like I'm supposed to be sitting here, Lord, but I don't know why you still got me here. It's a setback for a setup. He's setting you up for what you're about to get into. Remember, every situation, every encounter, every environment, there is something for us to get out of it. And it's up to us to search God for the answer, to ask him for the answer. I was talking to my good sis this week, and she was sharing about some job opportunities that she had, and everything was laid on the table, but she felt the Lord telling her, no, stay where you are. She had the opportunity to move into a new space, and she wanted to go, but she heard the Lord tell her, no, stay where you are. And so it's about being still and obedient in whatever he tells you to, and figuring out what it is that you're supposed to be gaining and learning from where you are now. Being still, I'm in the season of being still. But being still is the toughest thing, especially for us who when someone asks us to do something, we get it done. Especially for us, Mrs. Get It Done women out here. Those ambitious women out here. This season of being still is tough, but it's so fruitful because you learn to give yourself grace. You learn to endure. You learn to seek for the good things in situations. You learn to be more discerning, if that makes sense. It's tough to sit still because we want to we are the solution finders. Normally people come to us and they have questions and they have problems, and they come to us because we know we're Mrs. Get It Done. But when God asks for us to be still, it's like we're fidgeting and shaking in our boots like, Lord, I got to do something. But he's like, no, daughter, if you just sit still and let me be your guide, then you will know where to go. All this anxiousness will leave from you. All this worry will leave from you. I know I had to tell God at one point, I had to tell him, I was like, Lord, I'm just going to let you drive, and I'm going to stay in the passenger seat. Because, a lot of times when we get in the car with somebody and we in the passenger seat, we trying to tell them where to go and how to turn and watch out for this car and get on your side of the road, right? We trying to drive from the passenger seat. And I know my mom is just like that, but like, sis, do you want to drive or you want me to drive? You want to get over here? Because you got a lot to say. And so a lot of times we do God like that. We put him in the driver's seat, but we trying to tell him where to take us in life. We accept him as our Lord and Savior. We get baptized. We yield our life to him. We put our burdens at his feet. We tell him whatever he needs, he can have it. I surrender. We tell him, but yet we in the passenger seat trying to tell him where to go. Come on, make it make sense. I'm talking to me now. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So we got to be still when he asks us to be still and enjoy being still with God. Just like us single ladies, enjoy being single with God, right? And so as we get prepared, for this 2023, I just know 2023 is going to be victorious for all of us. It's going to be a good year. I want you to get excited. And so as you're prepping and you're reflecting on where you've been and where you're going, those setbacks were set ups for where you are going next. And so I want to talk to you about making smart goals as you are prepping. I have a time management course. It's on my website, thepurposeplace.com, and you can go there and enroll in that time management course for free, where I talk to you about creating smart goals, and I teach you how to use the priority planning strategy when you are scheduling out your day and making commitments, and whatever commitments you have for each day, everything that you do, go to work, pick up your children, make dinner, do homework, whatever you got to do. I help you use that priority planning strategy in your day so that you can make sure that you are working productively throughout the day and not just being busy all day. So go to thepurposeplace.com again, click courses and enroll in that course. It is absolutely free and it is self-paced. But as we talk about SMART goals, SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And so when you're making your goals this year, you want to make sure that they are specific. You want to make sure you can measure them. You want to make sure they're attainable, that they're realistic, and that you have a time for when they're going to be completed and done. So for example, one of my real-time goals is to be financially, to cultivate a healthy financial mindset and healthy financial habits. And so my goal says that I will cultivate a healthy mindset and habits by doing this, and that by the end of 2023. And so there, my goal is very specific. It tells you how I'm going to do it and when it's going to be done. And so I break it down also in each acronym. I write the specific goal, what I just read off to you. Then I say, okay, how am I going to measure this? And I wrote down what things I have, what tools I have that will help me measure whether or not I am cultivating this mindset. So bank overdraft accounts for me, using my expense tracker, paying off credit card bills, and also other things with credit cards. I'm not going to get too in depth with it, but that's how I'm going to measure it, with those trackers and things. And then the SMA, attainable. Is this attainable? Do you have the things that you need to reach this goal? Yes, I have all the software I need. Yes, I have the mindset to do it, and I have a planner to make sure I get it done. And so, yes, this goal is attainable for me. Now, realistic. Is this a realistic goal? Am I saying that my goal is to be financial, whatever, and I'm going to save $100 by the end of 2023? Is that a realistic goal? Absolutely not. Because first of all, sis needs the income to make $100 to make $100 with by the end of 2023, right? So you don't want to get way outside the box with unrealistic things. Like a lot of business owners, like me, when I first started my business, my goal was, I'm gonna make $100,000 in my first year. Okay, but how are you gonna do that? Okay, well, is that attainable? How are you going to measure that, sis? And we get that from listening to these multimillionaire business owners who got the money, who got the resources, who are selling these get money fast programs that don't really work unless you already have the money in the bank to spend on these marketing strategies and things that they have. So no, that was not realistic for me. Now, if you big balling and you're listening to me and you have the money for those programs, then that's your goal. It's realistic for you. Make it happen. So realistic, make sure your goal is realistic, and then make sure you can measure it in time. So with my goal, it is to make sure I have my goal is to be cultivated or whatever by the end of 2023. So that's my time. And then I will be tracking it throughout the year. But it's important that you make sure that you are smart planning and not just writing things down. And another thing that I got from my boss this week, because I was telling her, first of all, before I get into this, I realized, and I think I shared this on my last episode, looking forward to moving forward, but it goes with this too, that I realized that a lot of the goals that I was setting for myself was based off of what other people was saying that I should be meeting or whatever. And so I was kind of mixing and mingling what other people's thoughts were to what I really wanted, instead of focusing on everything that I have now and building off of that, right? And so I was sharing that with her, and she was because was talking to me about purchasing a house and things, and she had sent me different resources to get it done, and she was checking in and asking me. I was like, no, I think I'm gonna hold off on that because there's some other things that I need to solidify before I focus on purchasing a home, right? And so I was sharing that with her, and she shared with me how she had some struggles with spending money and she was addicted to shopping. Then she became addicted to saving money. And she did that by creating a vision board. And we all like to do our vision boards, right? But with her vision board, what she did was make her goals and then put those goals on the vision board and then check them off as she was meeting those goals, if that makes sense. Because I believe there's a perception that when we make a vision board, we just put everything that we see in our head on a board and then have it for inspiration to look at on the wall. That's not very strategic, right? And so I am going to, and I encourage you to, when you make your vision board for 2023 or at any point in your life, that you actually write out your goals and then transfer those into something visual that you can put on the wall for inspiration, and then start checking them off as you go. That is strategic, that is purposeful, and that is intentional. And that is how you win. Be willing to do the things that nobody else is willing to do. That's how people become successful. The people who are successful do things that no one else is willing to do. They get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, they make up their bed, they wash their dishes before they go to bed, they put their laundry up. They put their laundry up when it comes out the dryer and it don't sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks. But these are just some habits that successful people have. They exercise. Be intentional about your health. That's what some of the girls in my accountability group are talking about this week, being intentional about their health, because we have all of these goals, but if we're not healthy within ourselves, how are we going to be good for anybody else? Okay? So set back for a setup. 2023, let's get it. Think about the people in the Bible where they were marching around that wall. Don't you think they were thinking like, wouldn't it be just easier if we just broke this wall down a different way instead of walking around this thing 7 times? Or when that king got sick and the prophet told him to go wash his hands in a certain river or something, and the king was like, bruh, what you want me to do? Like, that sound inconvenient as heck, but he went and did it and he got healed. Set back for a set up. Some of these things are not going to make sense. Where you are is not going to make sense. I'm going to tell you, I'm just be honest. Where I am right now at my school, it just don't make sense. Like, not the job that I'm doing, but the school, it just don't make sense. I'm just like, Lord, I could be elsewhere at a bigger place doing this, doing that, but he has me where I am on purpose, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm going to be still, and I'm not going to move until he tells me to move. As ambitious as I am, as I look for opportunities for growth as often as possible, I'm going to stay where God tells me to go. And so I encourage you to do that as well, even if it looks crazy, even if it don't make any absolute sense. Go where he asks you to go. And be strategic in planning and prioritizing your time. Your time this year is you don't have no time to waste. Like, people are being taken from this world left and right. No respective of person, no respective of age either. Your time should be the thing that you hold tightly to, how you use your time. Don't waste your time in 2023, because we don't have any time to waste in 2023. Like, when I tell you people are getting snatched, their lives are being snatched, and it's ridiculous. But I thank God that he is covering his children, and I thank God that he has a plan for all of us in everything that he allows to happen. Amen. That just got serious right quick, but it's just, It's just crazy to me how people are just being wiped out of here left and right. And it's crazy to me how many people are being deceived. Ooh, it's crazy to me. But we got to stay praying for ourselves, covering ourselves and our families and people that we don't know. We got to cover them in prayer. Most definitely. Most definitely. Setback or a set up. Things may not make sense right now. He may not come when you want him, but he will be there right on time. And stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Don't procrastinate. When you have an inkling to do something, this is a goal of mine. When you have an inkling to do something and something needs to get done, do it in that moment. Or you need to put it in your reminders on your phone or something so that you get it done. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate. Procrastination is not your friend in 2023. Setback for a setup. Setback for a setup. You're being set up for success in this new year that you're walking into. So remember, reflect. As you're reflecting, connect the dots where God is taking you into a place and how it has shaped who you are and what you are doing now. Because he don't just be doing stuff just because. Everything, he does everything with intention and purpose. And so if we look hard enough, we seek hard enough, and we ask with right motives, he will respond to us and reveal to us the purpose and the plan that he has for our lives. So sis, I encourage you to stay encouraged. And I encourage you to set your goals for this upcoming year. If you haven't already, hit subscribe on this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, so we can stay connected and become a partner with me at thepurposeplace.com as we continue to grow as a community of sisters. Pray for me and I will pray for you. Continue to pray for you. Continue to pray for me and I will continue to pray for you. How about that? Let's say that. And let's just keep growing in God. Let's just keep growing in the Lord as sisters. I pray this message bless you. I pray that it encourages you and empowers you. Gave you a new perspective on what you've been through and where you're going. Setback for a setup. Setback for a setup. Setback for a setup. If you enjoyed this message, leave a comment. Share with your friends and family. And that's my time. It's been real. Talk to you soon.